Hello and a very big welcome to Third and Long. That was Electric Mary with Let Me Out, and I reckon Mark Goodwill's Patriots were saying that after they got flogged by the Indianapolis Colts. But a big welcome, an Australian podcast, welcome you with 360-degree access all areas, Mark, and all things NFL with an Aussie twist. Third and Long is brought to you by Little Birdie TV and TopSport.com.au, and we are in the studio. Once again, Marco, I'm eyeing off that bottle. Did we have a bottle of Grey Goose bet on that game last weekend?
Yeah, we did.
We did.
Doubles up as your birthday present and your Christmas present, so I get out light.
Hey, and I'm still arguing with Mum and Dad about that. Like, I still cop that to this day about the dual present, and I'm still not happy with it. But how was the week, big fella? How did it all go for you from a punting perspective for you?
Not too many bets. Punting was, you had to really pick your spots. But it was a bit of a battle, but, and Patriots obviously lost to you, so that wasn't great. But on your birthday, we have to give you a little present. They played really well. The Colts are going really well, aren't they? Then, there's still a chance to win the division with Baltimore being shaky.
They are, but a man who seems to get it right more often than not, a big man too. He might be getting a little bit more sleep now, but a big welcome to Toprope. How are you going, mate?
More sleep. I don't know what you're talking about, Corey. More sleep.
Jeez, he's very angry off the start.
The World Darts Championships are on. There's a baby waking me up. We don't need to sleep. We don't need to sleep. There's NFL on every day. How can you sleep during this time of year?
That is the one saving grace, you blokes, isn't it? It's the fact that just through the quirks of COVID in the world at the moment, that who would have thought that we're having nearly NFL on every day, and we're nearly losing our bearings a little bit, that it just seems like a game on day after day.
Yeah, we've kind of got through the quiet period for Australians, especially once the racing kind of finishes stuff. NFL carries the can a bit, but from now on, we've got the college playoffs coming up as well, if you follow that in the football, and then January sports is unbelievable, so looking forward to it.
Now, I know Nico's in earshot, but surely we could have the little birdie bowl. They've got every other bowl going on at the moment. Do you reckon that might grow legs?
Yeah, pipe dream. Maybe 1 or 2 years down the track, we might have the Aussie version. It's not a big stretch. You've thrown a couple of gridiron games in your past, so you know how to put them together. So, maybe there is an opportunity there for a January little birdie bowl.
Well, I reckon even Jimmy Kimmel had his own bowl. Like I know there's a lot of different people have their own bowl, but. Look, we could waffle on all day, but it's been a big week in football, a massive round 15 season. We go to front page news now. As we know, COVID seems to be wreaking havoc all over the NFL with Arizona, the Pats, and Tennessee and Tampa. It was a huge round. I'll just do a bit of a recap off the top. Well, Friday seems an eternity ago, but Kansas City, well, they just keep rolling on. I did pick them earlier, but it seems like they are just getting the job done at the right end of the year, Marco, aren't they?
Yeah, it was one of the better games going into the weekend that didn't let us down. Overtime game, 28-28, and KC finished it with a touchdown. And if you didn't watch the match on Friday or you haven't seen it, go and check out the little quick half an hour one, because Kelsey played one of the better individual quarters we've seen this year. He was unbelievable, really.
Now, Toprope, I won't throw to my co-anchor in the chair and ask him about this very particular game, but for me on my birthday, it was a performance that, look, regardless of even a Colts fan, but to watch Indianapolis do what they did, and Jonathan Taylor, I think at the moment, so if the Colts are 8-6, I think every game that he's rushed over 100 yards, they've won, and everyone under 100, they've lost. I think the run may be the secret, Toprope, in Indianapolis.
Yeah, got to feed the beast there. He in the top 5 fastest individual plays this year, Taylor has 3 of them, including that big run down the end, which is quite astonishing, actually. So. incredible speed, incredible strength, and great vision. And they're certainly playing right. And for mine, that was really marked India as legit contenders. You know, I know they jumped favourites. The Pats were on the road, but that was a hell of a win.
Can Jonathan Taylor win the MVP?
Well, I think our previous co-host Paige brought this up with Henry when he was up and rolling early.
Oh no!
And
oh no!
We saw what happened there, so we don't want to put. We don't want to.
We're not putting the mods on him. I'll just retract what I said.
But I guess we touched on back then what it would take Henry to achieve. I guess to put him in the MVP slot. And Jonathan Taylor seems to be reaching those marks at this stage, and he's really put him on their back. And I guess it all depends how far, if he carries into the playoffs the way he's doing. He's definitely in the mix, and he has to be, just on, as you said, the W's he's putting on the board for his team.
And Toprope, I know a few people out there do like a wager, but Detroit, in one of the upsets of the season, I nearly fell off my chair when I saw this happen. You didn't happen to have a few shekels on this game, did you?
I did. I ended up having a small play on the plus. Didn't back them straight out, but it was pretty heavy on the under. I think that may have even been bet of the week last week on the pod. I'll defer to our producer on that one, but with the high bet count, so it's never easy to remember. But Detroit, they've been pretty good. Like they really are rallying around this new coach, Dan Campbell. They're lacking a lot of talent. They're pulling people off the street to play running back for them. Cardinals, though, serious question marks being asked for them. I think many expected this fold to come at some stage. Probably thought it would come earlier, but it's talk about stumbling into the playoffs. They've got a tough road in Arizona, and it's going to be a very, 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 very difficult for Arizona to kind of hit the playoffs with any kind of momentum you would have thought.
Yeah, inexcusable loss. I mean, they just didn't lose. They got absolutely belted, didn't they? 18 points is unbelievable to a team who's only won, at that stage, one game for the year. That'll hurt them. As Toprope says, not even momentum. I just think it'll come back to bite them, and it might shock their confidence a bit as well going forward.
Well, let's hope they do it one more week at least, because I know that the Colts have actually got them this week, so just steer right through them. We'll quickly go through some of the other games. Now, I think I did say this, that the Pits did defy the betting, and they upset Tennessee. I think I actually did say that at the time, that out of the remaining games, that seemed like the one at home, that it's a Ben Roethlisberger type performance and finds a way to get him across the line. The other game that was a cracker of a game, Green Bay hanging on 31-30 in Baltimore. That game could have literally gone any way, couldn't it?
Yes, yeah. I kind of feel sorry for the Baltimore, not so much the players, definitely the fans at the moment. Their run this year, especially in the last couple of weeks, the coaches, the call, I guess with Harbaugh, the head coach as well, to go for 2-point conversions now in the last 3 weeks, I believe, and not get either of them. It's just been, real costly in terms of where they end up on the ladder. And he seems to stand by his decision as well. Both press conferences, he said that was the best decision for the team at the time. It goes against the grain of a long history that you got to stay in the game to win it.
Don't worry about the fans. Don't worry about the fans at all. Worry about those who have taken the over bloody season win total. They're the people. They're the ones who are really suffering right now.
And the final one, Toprope. Again, you talk about results where you cannot believe your eyes this time of season. And I think we all extol the virtues of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Tom Brady, and it's December and knowing how to get the job done. Even though that we did speak about the fact that Sean Payton, great coach, could go in there. Yeah, I mean, we didn't really expect him to win, but Toprope, how the hell did you see that one? Because that one was from the clouds, and it was Tom Brady's first shutout since 2006, and the other one, I knew he had not had a shutout at home in his career.
Yeah, very, very strange game. Of course, Sean Payton didn't even go there. He was on the COVID list, so it was just a very weird game. Goodwin did his ACL. They lost Fournette. They lost Evans early as well. Well, I think the one take, I think you could probably put that one cross it off and just forget about it from a Tampa Bay point of view. But where I think it will have some impact, I'm not sure Tom Brady can win the MVP. You've seen Aaron Rodgers. I don't know Aaron Rodgers has created some enemies in the media this year, but bloody hell, Aaron Rodgers has made those around him better, no matter who they are. Brady had that opportunity against a pretty depleted Saints on Sunday Night Football and missed out. So I think they may count against him a little in their
And I do agree with you, Top Row. I reckon that the job that Aaron Rodgers has done across the course of this season with, I would think, inferior targets, and even in games, I feel like Aaron Rodgers in certain games just knows how to manage it through. As great as Tom Brady is, you feel like the job that Aaron Rodgers has done has been unbelievable.
Yeah, he just, I don't know, he just looks like he's walking a bit taller, Rodgers. I know Brady had a shocking game and he really got down on himself, and there was a few camera angles of him smashing a few things, blah, 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 and he expects a level of excellence, but Rodgers just looks like he's travelling at the moment. And if you remember back when he wasn't rocking up to practice and they got blown out week 1, everyone wanted to jump on Green Bay and saying, well, that's it, X's and O's. And now he's just, top ropes, to be fair, he's tipped them probably, the last 5 or 6 weeks now in the Super Bowl betting. So we'll discuss it a bit later, but I believe Top Rope's been winding me up and saying, guess who's favourite now for the Super Bowl? And
the other kicker, he's already had COVID, so he can't go out like these other guys.
Tom Brady can't get COVID, surely. Superman, he won't get it. There's a moss.
He didn't even get the vaccine, but we won't go near that one. Now we'll go into the playoffs with 3 games remaining. So we'll go to the AFC first with the division leaders of Kansas City. You got New England next, Tennessee, Cincinnati. I'll just run over these. In the wild card currently, I've got my beloved Indianapolis Colts, the Chargers, Buffalo, and Baltimore. And in the hunt, well, it seems like the whole world is in the hunt at the moment. So, boys, where do we see the AFC in terms of the division winners? Who gets the not only the home field advantage, but gets the week off?
Yeah, it's a lot changed in the AFC this week. Obviously, with New England losing, Tennessee and also Baltimore. So with Cincinnati now jumping up. So there was a lot of changes going on. Obviously now KC with their win, and what a KC won, I think 6 in a row now. They've unbelievably dropped up into the number 1 spot. As you can tell, your Indies now knocking on the door as well with the Tennessee division. Only got 1 win behind. So there's 4 teams on 8 and 6, and then there's a bunch between 7 and 7. So plenty left in the AFC. It'd be pretty tough to knock KC the way they're going. But I think the one that's going to jump up is Indy. You got to ride at the moment. The Colts are doing nothing wrong, and they're probably almost second pick.
Well, I think if the Colts can go to Arizona this week and they can win, I think they nearly wrap up a wild card at a minimum.
Yep. Yeah, plenty to play out.
Where do you see, just quickly in the AFC top rope, where do you see that sits at the moment?
Yeah, Kansas City will take the number 1 seed. And, for all the hullabaloo that's going on throughout the year, that's how it's going to play out there. Just some real interesting races. The AFC North, a win for Cleveland on was it Tuesday our time would have catapulted them to top, bottom of the division. So anyone can take that one. The tie is going to play a huge impact there. Now, I do think the Colts will run down Tennessee. I think that's on that side of the division. And I think for the wild card spot, you're probably looking at Buffalo. You're probably looking at the Chargers. And you might be looking at, if Tennessee can get 1 more win, or kind of whoever runs second in that AFC North spot. So and they've got some tough runs in there. Like Baltimore have the Bengals, Rams, and Steelers to come. It's I wouldn't dare put a guess on that one, but that's how I see it play. I think I can't see Miami getting a wild card spot there. So.
Yeah, they got 3 tough games to come, Miami.
Yeah.
I think they miss.
They do. And I don't think the Raiders or Denver are good enough to do what they need to do.
And boys, on to the NFC. I think for a hell of a long time, I probably tended to think that there was a multitude of teams that were capable of winning the Super Bowl here, but some of them have now probably dropped off a fair bit. Green Bay would have to be the favourites on the way in. Who I know we're going to cover it later, but who have Green Bay got this week? I think that's a home game on Christmas Day in Wisconsin.
Cleveland.
They're probably not going to, in December in Green Bay, you're not going to back against them.
Yeah.
Then you got the Cowboys, Tampa Bay, Arizona. Arizona seems the one that's probably most shaky at the moment. The wild card, we've got the Rams, which are currently taking place.
Yeah.
San Francisco, Minnesota. The ones that are in the hunt, I don't know. I think that they could get there, but you've got the Saints, Washington, Philly, Atlanta. Probably all, you would probably say, pretty weak teams. What do you think?
Yeah, we've also got Washington, Philly just in the hunt. They're playing each other now, so the loser of that should be curtains for their season. I'm not sure there's too many great teams that could pop up from in the hunt category there. The Rams are obviously playing at the moment, so if they win, I think they might go ahead of Arizona. Tampa Bay, not going to cut them just off one, but as Top Rope mentioned before, they do have some problems now with the injuries, especially losing Godwin, who's been, Brady's best receiver. But yeah, I think, those who have listened to Top Rope and just, a bit like the cryptocurrency, just put a couple $100 aside each week and putting it on the Super Bowl, you got a nice little position going in.
Where do you sit, Top Rope? I know you've been very bullish on Green Bay. Is it looming large that we may be looking at a Super Bowl, and we only it seems to take shape in always in December? I know that goes without saying, but are we looking at a potential Kansas City and Green Bay Super Bowl, which could be one for the ages?
Yeah, I think that's the most likely scenario at the moment. I'm still very heavy on Green Bay. I'm not putting a line to Arizona, but I think it's as close as you're going to get for a team who's leading the division. I'm not even sure they will win that division. Dallas have a really good record playing divisional opponents, and they're kind of pretty mediocre against non-division teams. So I definitely don't want to be part of them. And they're losing a lot of weapons at the moment, Tampa Bay. I'm never putting a line to Tom Brady, but I wouldn't want to be on him. I think the biggest threat in the NFC is the 49ers. I reckon they are warming to it nicely. They play a pretty unique brand. I think, if it's going to turn into a shootout against Aaron Rodgers, they're not going to win. But if they end up in Lambeau on a cold winter's day and it becomes a very run-heavy game, they're pretty well built for that, the Niners. So I think they're probably the threat over on the FC outside of the division leaders.
Going well, 49ers, but Top Rope, he's a bit of heart there with his, you can see he's wearing his 49ers cap. Although, to be fair, about 3 weeks ago, Top Rope on this show, I think they got out to about $41 in the Super Bowl, and as his value pick, he did say have a couple of dollars on that. So,
you've known me for a while, MG. I don't know that I have a heart, so I wouldn't be saying that.
I'm not sure. A few texts each week, you always say my heart's about to stop. So,
when I say heart, I mean betting accounts.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll just quickly run over these. Top Rope, if you want to chime in. The last point we're going to cover in front page news is just the amount of betting, I guess, plunges and also movements that went on in week 15. They were quite extraordinary, some of them. Not all hit Top Rope, and I know some of them were COVID related and injury related and stuff, but if I just run you through a few of these, the Pittsburgh game was obviously heavily against goes to Tennessee, and they actually missed. Pittsburgh caused the upset, as Corey just mentioned before. What about the Cleveland move there, Top Rope? They did open as short 6.5-point favourites, finish 3-point outsiders, and then go down by -2 to the Raiders. What were your thoughts there?
My thoughts were complete bitterness when I was on the Raiders -2.5. So it's those games are strange, right? Because there were betting moves, and then there were just information-based moves, right? And there were players in, players out. I know that some betting was refunded on the total. We'll discuss that kind of when we look at the bets later on as well. But yeah, the moving of that game made it very, very strange, and no one really knew the teams until an hour before kickoff, and there wasn't a lot of prop betting on that one. So good win for the Raiders, but yeah, I don't know. If you got the right side of it, well done to you. But if not, rough.
Yeah, the game got messy both for the punters and probably the bookies there. They probably didn't know who they were cheering in the end with the late field goal to Las Vegas. The other betting moves we'll just touch on was Jacksonville opened 3 in their game, went to 6 against Houston in teams that I think were both 2-11. That was crazy, and Houston actually blew them out by 16 points. You're all over the Green Bay one. You like that Top Rope where it opened 5, went to 9.5. Unfortunately, Baltimore, who come back there against Green Bay, it was only 1 point the difference. Baltimore. And then the other one was Minnesota Vikings opened 3, went to 7. And, you had to sweat that out in the end with Chicago getting some late scoring. I think you were riding that one, Top Rope, if I'm not corrected.
I ended up coming to the Bears on that one. I never played that one. I backed the Bears +7, so really appreciative of not taking the last extra point.
Well, that's a wrap. It was a massive week, and hopefully we can try and give you some more mail where you can hopefully make some money out of the NFL, which has been a disastrous season for me on my front. But we'll take a quick break, and we'll be back up next with To the House. Well, welcome back. It's time now To the House, brought to you by TopSport.com.au, family owned and operated for 35 years. Bet with a bookie you can trust. Bet with TopSport.com.au. And Marco, over to you for To the House.
Yeah, the favourite part of the show. We've got. We'll just quickly recap from what went on week 15. We've discussed it a bit previously in front page news. Before we bring in Top Rope, his week 15. Of the 5 tips he gave out, 1 was refunded, so he went 3-1 with his line total. So that brings his season's count now to 41-36. So he's got his nose in front there on the count. We've got the bookie wrap for week 15. Remembering, just heads up, guys, we've still got 2 games in progress today, so that's the reason why it's only out of 14. The favourites have had a solid week, 10 out of 14. The Lions running at 50% and massive to the unders again. I think Top Rope mentioned off-air before the show that it was a very low-scoring Monday NFL. Went back about 25 years since we found a lower-scoring week. And the home teams continue to struggle, as you can see there on the season. It's only at 50% home teams for the year, and the favourites are very low, 62%. So the bookies are having a very big NFL season so far. Top Ropers, I'll just bring you back in here. Your picks for Week 15, you had 5 of them. The Cleveland game was refunded. You got off to a pretty good start with the Pittsburgh game at +2.5. You just want to run through these for us?
Yeah, the Pittsburgh, we got +2.5 there. That ended up jumping. That was favoured, I think, by 2.5 by the jump. The Arizona Detroit total never looked like going over until the last play, so a little concerning at the death there, but got there in the end. Miami should have covered that game by about 20 points, but just some dumb tour players cost that. Bengals were very good, actually. 15-10, probably not reflective of where they are. I thought they decimated Broncos team, but did, to be fair, lose quarterback Teddy Bridgewater. So good week overall.
Yeah, solid week, Top Rope. Okay, 15's almost in the bin. We have got 2 games live going on. We'll update those maybe on next week's show. We move on to week 16 here. Corey, we've got 10 televised games again, which we will have for the remaining schedule of the year. So we'll go through these with the 2 gentlemen's opinions here. We kick off with game 1. It is the 49ers travel to Tennessee on Friday, so we don't get much of a break here. It will be shown on ESPN at 12:20. We've currently got the 49ers as the away favourite, line of -3.5 and the total of 45 flat. Top Rope, great start to kick off week 16. We've got the 8-6 49ers, who you have mentioned that are up and coming against the struggling Titans now at 9-5. Opposing form lines for me. 49ers have won 5 out of their last 6, while Tennessee have lost 3 out of their 4. Who do you see taking the points here?
Yeah, I like the Niners. Not overly enamored with the line. -3.5, though. I marked at 6. So I have a small bet on the Niners here. They're pretty good on the road, covered 15-23. We'll be back in the over, though. Surprised the total's so low here. Titans are a big over team. We discuss it every week, 30-14 to the over. But the Niners are 10-5 over as a road favourite, 8-3 over as a road favourite with more than a field goal. So backing the over in this one probably is the best bet of the game.
Okay, over there for Top Rope. Corey, how do you see this game?
Yeah, I think I was actually looking at those stats there. In San Francisco, they have been better away with a 5-2 record, even though Tennessee have been 5-2 at home. But no, I reckon Paige's 49ers, they found their mojo at the right time of year. And even Top Rope, sorry, I shouldn't leave him out with his beloved San Francisco 49ers. Maybe, look, the reason why they have been so good away is that they're probably, unless it's in their minds, to actually run the ball when you're in opposition venues. And that's maybe it is a very big key to their game, and keep the ball out of Jimmy G's hands.
Yeah, less mistakes on the ground.
It's a bit like Carson Wentz.
It's a bit like your team, yeah. The secret's not It's pretty obvious, actually. Okay, match 2. We've got this will be. Remember, we've got 2 Sunday games showing every week for the rest of the schedule as well.
Boxing Day. So we got cricket on Boxing Day. We got NFL on Boxing Day. What a great day!
Yeah, it'll be a big day. You need multiple TVs, as we've got in the little birdie office here. We've got match 2. We've got the Browns. Let's see if they can field a team this week. They travel to Green Bay to take on the Packers at 8:30 a.m. for those recovering after a big Christmas day. It'll be shown on ESPN2. The current line here, Green Bay, the home favourites at -7 flat, and the total is 44.5. Top rope, your team, the Packers at 11-3. They're looking to continue to hold the number 1 seed, while the Browns are in a very tough division looking for a wild card. How do you see this one?
Yeah, it won't surprise you at all, Mark. But, I'll be on the Packers -7 here. I said should be a double-digit line all the way on a short week here. Cleveland, COVID ravage. Who knows who's going to be under centre for them? Who's going to be playing? Packers have Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, I'll be backing the Packers. Have covered 16 of the last 21 at home, so I'm not really sure why that's stopping Cleveland.
Okay, pretty confident there from Top Rope to take the minus the Packers. Any chance the Browns, Corey?
None at all. And I think Matt LaFleur, there's only a handful of coaches that have actually, in their first 3 seasons, actually won 11 or more games, and he's actually joined that crew. It is interesting watching Matt LaFleur this year that any time, and I think he's thinking back to the championship game last year where he didn't let Aaron Rodgers go for it. I'd love to know the amount of times where they've actually gone for where they've actually gone for it this year, because I reckon every game I've seen it, they let Aaron Rodgers go for it, and I reckon that was a hangover from last year where they didn't let him go for it.
Okay. All right, so strong on the Packers also?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, we come up to talk about Corey's favourite team, the Indiana Colts here. We've got the Colts travel to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. This is the second game on the Sunday at 12:15. This will be shown on ESPN2. We've got Cardinals slight favourites at -1 flat, and the total is at 49 flat. Top rope, looking forward to this game. We've got the 8-win Indianapolis Colts against the 10-win Cardinals, who have now lost 2 in a row, while the Colts have won 5 of their last 6. Myself, I'm interested to see your opinion. I had the Colts favourite in this game. Yourself?
Yeah, I had the Colts 2.5-point favourites this one, so I think they're a bit where they're at right now. They've got 5 straight on the road, 8 of 11 overall, 20 of 29 against winning teams. Arizona covered just 9 of their last 32 as a home favourite. I think they're heading in the wrong direction. I will back the Colts and with a good deal of confidence.
Okay, I like your words there. Corey, should I even throw to you? There's no way you're not tipping the Colts.
No, I'll just be intrigued to see if they maintain that formula, and they've got a really good balance going at the moment. And yes, you're giving the ball to Jonathan Taylor, and they're giving it to him at the right times, but it's enough times that Carson Wentz is not going completely stale and still making a few plays. And look, but also on top of that, the Colts defenses and the amount of plays that they're making as well, it just adds up that they're actually just playing some really good football at the moment. And fingers crossed that, look, I know I'm a Colts fan, and I actually just want to see them go as far as they can. And if they keep playing like this with 3 games to go, I think this one's the big game. If they can win this one, I think they nearly guarantee at least at minimum a wild card game. But if they can keep winning through, who knows where they can finish up.
Yeah, I think this is an important one for them in terms of getting over. If they can get over at Arizona, then I think the job will be done, and they might finish a bit higher than just a wild card spot as well. So look out for that. Okay, match 4. We move to here. We've got the Baltimore Ravens travel to take on Cincinnati Bengals. This kicks off our Monday schedule at 5 a.m. This will be shown on 7 Mate. Current betting here, we've got the Bengals home favourite at -2.5. Total of 44.5. This is a divisional matchup for the North here. AFC North here, top rope, both first and second currently. They're both on 8 and 6. How do you see this one playing out?
Yeah, I reckon the line's about right here. I'll be probably a small bet on Baltimore. I think Tyler Huntley's been pretty underrated. He's been very good actually since he's come around, and you would think he's trying to play himself into a starting quarterback role at some clubs. So obviously not the Ravens, but you would have to suggest he's better than probably about 15 starting quarterbacks at the moment. So they've covered 18 and 23 as a dog. I'm happy to be on Baltimore.
Okay, Baltimore there for top rope. Corey, how do you see this one? Big game for both.
It's a massive game for both. When you think about it, Baltimore have had a season where they seem to have been in the spotlight and played a lot of big games, but they're both sitting at 8-6 now. And the one for mine that snuck up and just keep on getting wins is Cincinnati. I think, they've sort of flown under the radar a bit. Really looking forward to that game. I'm not sure about 5 a.m. after a big weekend at Boxing Day. Or it might have been to the Boxing Day sales mark instead of going to the cricket. No, but look, it should be a cracking game. I'm going to go for Baltimore. I just feel like in a game like this that they'll get up for it and they'll get the job done, even though it's in Cincinnati.
Okay, both on Baltimore there for the tipsters. Okay, we move on now to match 5 that we're covering. This is another 5 a.m. game. This will be on ESPN. It is Buffalo Bills travel to New England. They played 2 weeks ago where New England Patriots got the win in Buffalo. So this is the return bout. We've got the Patriots slight favourites here, the home favourite at -2.5 and a low total of 43.5. Top rope. The Pats got it done 14-10 in a very low scoring game. This is also a divisional matchup game. A Pats win here should see him get the division. We do have better weather. So let's not take too much credence.
Whoever thought you'd ever say that New England has better weather than somewhere?
Well, those who remember only 2 weeks ago, the wind in Buffalo was crazy. They couldn't kick field goals to one end. So, top rope, how do you see this one? Can New England get the double?
Yeah, I think they can. Look, there's no real great confidence in this one, but the Pats have covered 5 straight as a favourite, 4-1 at home, 4-1 against the number 8 against the division. So I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced that the Bills this year. I've kind of harped on about that all season. So even against Carolina, they got the win. They even got the late cover on the double-digit start, but I thought they were far from convincing. So I'll be on the Pats.
Pats for top rope, Corey?
Yeah, I'm on the Pats. Even against the Colts last week, they really came right towards the end of the game. I think that in New England, they'd be really wanting to get off to a fast start, and especially with someone like Buffalo, they really want to sow the seed that here we go again. We're against the Patriots. I know Tom Brady's not there anymore, of course, but I think they want to sow the seed real early and they'd be looking to get off to a fast start. On the flip side, it's a massive game for Buffalo because they could really, their whole season, the way that they started off and the expectations, this is a huge game for them, but I still think your boys will get it done.
Okay. All right. Like the confidence there. Okay. The third game we're covering for the 5 a.m. slot on Monday. This game will be shown on ESPN2. We've got Brady's Bucks travelling to Carolina. They don't have to travel too far. The line there at the moment, we've got the away favourite, the Bucks, at -10.5, and the total is at 44 flat. Top rope looks a bit of a mismatch on paper at the moment. The 10-win Bucks against the 5-win Panthers. Can the Bucks recover with a few injuries? They got shut out last week. Surely they respond.
Maybe. They covered 4 or 5 head-to-head. I'm fairly sure they'll walk away with the W, but it's a big number to cover. Wouldn't be rushing into that double-digit start, to be honest. I'm very concerned about the lack of weapons, especially if Fournette doesn't play as well. So, wait and see on that one, but confident bet, the over 44. I think this is a big over spot for both teams. 12-4, Tampa in the division, 22-5 after they've allowed less than 15. 35-16 when Carolina play winning teams. So Carolina's defense is a mess. Tampa Bay's offense can score. Yeah, over pretty much.
Okay, over there for top rope, maybe a slight leaning to the plus. Corey, the Bucks need one more to clinch the division.
I would have thought top rope, you'd be all over the plus 10 for Carolina. You're giving them a plus 10 start, and Brady and the weapons that he's going to have missing. I wouldn't mind a few shekels on that game, Marco. I do like it. I just think with those injuries, I think are going to have a really big impact. And after what happened last week, unless he's just going to go back to the well with Gronk and just continually throw the ball to Gronk, I'm not sure. But when Brady played his best football this season, he's had Evans and Goodwin and these guys to throw to. So I do like Carolina a little bit in this with the plus.
All right, the plus there for Corey and the over there for top rope. Okay, we move along to the 8:25 game here. We've got Pittsburgh travelling to take on KC. It will be shown on ESPN. The home team, very strong favourites here. Top rope KC, minus 10.5 at the line, and the total will be around the 46.5 mark. Big game for both. Pittsburgh are just hanging on. Obviously, they're 7-6 with the draw, as Top Rope did mention, will play a key. KC have got 10 wins on the board and are currently in number one position. They need one more to clinch the division here. How do you see this one, Top Rope?
Yeah, KC probably get the win, but I don't want the plus on this one. Pittsburgh, 13-6 against the spread as a road dog. They covered 5 or 6 against the winning team. Kansas City have certainly found their rhythm a bit, but they've only covered 4 or 13 as a home favourite, so I'll be jumping on the big start here.
Corey, Chiefs have won 7 straight. Does it continue?
Yeah, it does continue. I think this will be the maybe the knockout punch, and in the Ben Roethlisberger, Big Ben. We'll just go with Big Ben. I went with the tongue twister there, but no, I think Kansas are really getting all their ducks in a row going into this time of the year, and especially at home with what's on the line, they'll definitely get the win against Pittsburgh.
Yeah, contrasting styles. Be a great game to watch. Looking forward to that one, actually. Okay, the other game at the 8:25 will be shown on 7 Mate here. We don't have betting up for this at this stage, but Denver travel in to take on the Raiders in Las Vegas. These boys have torn it up in Vegas in their previous lives. We won't get into that right now. It's going to be a divisional matchup. Both teams are on 7-7, although with the schedules to come, I believe that they're both unlikely to partake in the playoffs. The loser can definitely book their holidays for January. Top Rope, which one lives for another week?
Lean towards the Raiders here. I'm just not high on the Broncos, and Drew Lock in particular is a terrible quarterback. They've covered 8 of 25 division games, the Broncos. The Raiders have covered 7 of their last 8 against Denver. I think they might just have a bit too much. No confidence, but a bit too much for the Raiders.
Looks a tough betting game. Any thoughts there, Corey?
It is a tough betting game. I'm going to go with Derek Carr and the Raiders. I think Derek Carr is actually, in terms of everything that's gone wrong this year in Las Vegas with the coach and the playing side of things, I think he's been fantastic the way he stood up. And even who was the game the other day against, the name escapes me,
Cleveland.
The one against Cleveland at the death. He made some plays even later in the game that actually got them in that position. And I think, it's just a shame for him that he'd had a number of these things go wrong, because I thought even before those things went wrong, he was on track to have a really good year, but he's kept it going, and full credit to him.
Yeah, they're hanging on. So we will see who lives to fight into another week between these two teams. Okay, we've got our second last match that we're going to cover the TV games for Week 16. This always is a good battle. Doesn't matter where they are in the standings. We've got Washington travel into Dallas at the late Monday game. This is just after lunchtime at 12:20. This will be shown on ESPN. The market shows at the moment Dallas is around the minus 10.5 line, and the total is at 47.5. Note that Washington, the reason why the betting is not being shown at the moment is obviously Washington are playing Eagles at the moment, so the bookies have got it down for the meantime while we take this show. What have we got here, Top Rope? We've got a divisional matchup. Dallas have won 3 in a row. Looks like since they've got all their players back, Prescott's starting to get some momentum. They've got the two-headed monster at running back. Have they just got simply too much here for Washington?
I would have thought so here. Prescott in particular, interesting stat here, boosting split. 21-8 against the spread when playing the division, 25-31 against the spread outside the division for his career. So he does dominate those teams inside the division. I'm not convinced about Washington, and who knows who's playing quarterback, if they're going to get Henneke or even Kyle Allen back. I think there is an absolute 5 truck bet in this one. That's the under. I marked this game 41, not 47. So 6-point swing there. Washington, a huge unders team, 14-3 under against winning teams. Dallas 5-1 under when they were favourite, and late season divisional unders get 61%. So big underplay here.
Okay, there you heard it first. Get on the unders there in that game. Corey, how do you see this one?
Yeah, I like that line of Dallas minus 10.5. I just think that they're starting to get their players back. Washington, and they're going to have a really short week. Just adds up. Especially at home at AT&T Stadium, the Cowboys.
Okay, pretty confident there for the Cowboys. Top Rope tipping up the under as the play in this game. Okay, our final game, the 10th TV game of the week. We have got Miami will go into play the Saints in New Orleans. This game will be seen on Tuesday lunchtime at 12:15 on ESPN. We've got the Saints, the home favourite here at -3 flat and a very low total of 39 flat at the moment. Top rope, we've got both teams on 7 and 7. Miami, listen, they've won 6 in a row, so can't fault form. They've played a lot of below average teams for mine, and I think to make the playoffs for them, it's still unlikely to win out. I think they've got a tough schedule with the 3 games to come, and I think they'll miss. The Saints have got an easier draw, and I think it's more of a must-win for them, and they're more likely to get the wild card. How do you see this match?
Yeah, hard one. I probably lean towards Miami here. I think it's a big letdown spot for New Orleans here. Miami 21-8 against the Spurs dog, but I do think there is a bet on the over here, 38.5. I expected a low total, but not this low. So, Miami are typically been on the other side of late, so I'll be taking just small the over 38.5 as the best bet.
Corey, how do you see this one?
Yeah, again, there's another team that's really snuck up like the Bengals a little bit. That Miami, it just won all those games in a row, just snuck along, and I don't know. I like the under in that game with the points total, especially in New Orleans. So I still think the Saints will win the game, but I like the total points under.
Okay, bit of a split decision there on the last game of the week. We'll have to stay tuned for any updates. Okay, if you listen, we've only got 3 weeks left for Top Rope's tips. He's had 2 very solid weeks the last 2 weeks, so he's getting his eye in for the playoffs here. So if you want to get his last 3 weeks of action for $22 a week, check out Little Birdie Pod. Get to the house tab there, and you can pick up the $22 a week or $66 for the rest of the season. Okay, as we just bring, we'll move on to the Super Bowl update. Obviously, prices are down currently at the moment. We did get a grab before the 2 matches had started. So, Top Rope, it's time to bring you in for this one because, I know you're very keen to talk about it. I'm going to guess it's 4 to 6 weeks in a row. I've given you one opportunity to update a Super Bowl bet for punters, and you've said the Green Bay Packers definitively. They now sit pretty clear favourite. We've had probably, 6 or 8 teams this year, I think, have been favourite at one stage.
For a long time.
And I know Tampa Bay have probably been favourite for the last 3 or 4 weeks. They've been replaced after their shocking encounter, and obviously a few key injuries to their wide receivers, one that they've lost for the season now. Packers, as we see the betting, 460 favourite there, Top Rope. The Chiefs at 550. Tampa Bay are out to 725. Then we've got double digits the rest. The Rams and the Patriots $11. The Bills out to 12. They're probably looking a bit unders for mine. Dallas at 13. The Cardinals at 15. Top Rope. Outside the Packers, because obviously we know where your position is there. If you were going to have $100, would you be tipping anything other than the Packers this week, or are you still investing?
No, they're at the right price now. Yep. So they're very fair. So I think the Colts at $21 are plenty of value there. I think they've got a game that can match in the AFC. Like obviously Kansas City is the team to beat there, but looking at that as a value proposition, Indianapolis $21.
Yep. What about your 49ers? I see they've the 41 tip a couple of weeks ago into 26. Would you still be entertaining that as a bit of a value tip, or not at that price?
Very much so. No, very much so. Very much so. They were the 2 I was considering there. I think they're both choices. I don't think San Francisco are going to be able to win the division, but I think they can scare the absolute bottle out of some of the lower seeded division winners on the platform.
Okay, Corey. He's tipping into your Colts. He's getting on the train.
No, get off him. Stay away. No, nothing to see. Move on. The one that still jumps out for me there that are capable, if they can put everything together over, well, they're going to have to do it for a 4 or 5 weeks or 6 week span if they're going to win enough games, is still the Dallas Cowboys.
Okay.
Like if they can get all their players together, have a little bit of luck, would be worth having a little bet on, Marco.
Okay. All right. Bit of Cowboys there for Corey.
Well, each week, our panel of 4, they have been granted $100 to invest, which is sponsored by topsport.com.au. TopSport is Australia's biggest betting bookie. Bet where the pros get set, and all the profits have been donated to my platform called Walk With Me Online, which we're doing some fantastic things in the physical and mental fitness space. Now, Marco, how are we tracking? And the question is, can I be caught?
Two-part question. Top rope's hanging in there. He's looking for the tie at this stage. He's got 3 weeks left, but one more victory from you, and you can take the title. As we see from the Week 15 results, again, I think it's been pretty consistent. We've gone 2 out of 4 most weeks for the last month or so. Corey's got it again. He's up to 11-4, and Top Rope has moved into outright second at 8-7. Paige and I bringing up the rear. The total we have raised so far, you can see on your screen, we're up to $2,755. So I still think we're $3,500 is a reasonable budget that we're trying to get to. Okay, what have we got for round 16?
Well, my tip, I am going to go for Carolina. I think the Bucks with a few injuries. I'm going to go Carolina 10.5 at the line. Now, Top Rope, what are you thinking? Can you catch me?
Yeah, I will. I'll just run my own race, Corey. I'll be going 3 for 3 over the next week. If you stumble, then so be it. But if not, good luck to the charity. Under 47 for me in the Dallas-Washington game.
All right, under 47. And Marco, what have you got for us?
I'm actually going to tip your Colts.
Ooh.
I'm not jumping on late. I just,
Get on the bandwagon.
No. Just on the pricing, I come up with them favourite. Good to hear Top Rope also did. So I'm going to go the Colts +2 at the line there. And Paige sent in her tip. She is jumping on board the Packers, and she's going the Packers -7 at the line.
Well, that's all for our tips this week. Hopefully we can win a hell of a lot more money for Walk With Me online. Now, on to our Super Bowl party competition. Only 3 weeks left to win 2 tickets to our first ever Super Bowl party at the Emerson on Monday, February 14. Now, I know, Mark, it's a very special day on your calendar being Valentine's Day, but I'm sure the Dale will let you have the day off and you can come swanning in the door about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, nice and fresh. But last week's winner was Aaron Maynard. He correctly tipped the Chiefs by 7 points. It was the closest margin, but Matt Shannon tipped the result of 6 points, but he won in week 13, but we couldn't give it to him again. So we had to go.
Only one winner.
Only one winner per week. So great that won it again, but we can only give 1 win per week.
We like to share the love, Corey. We want to get many people involved. So, yes, well done to Matt Shannon, though.
Well, this week's match, Friday at 12:20 on Christmas Eve. I know everyone would have been out doing their Christmas shopping, but then you can come home. 12:20 on Friday, you've got the San Francisco 49ers versus the Tennessee Titans. Now, Marco, how to enter, how to join us at the Emerson on Monday, February the 14th. Each week, you got the first game, enter which team wins and by what margin. For example, week 16, San Francisco by 6 points on our socials, on Twitter or on Instagram at Little Birdie TV and at Third and Long TV. Now, to qualify, you must tag at least 2 friends, and remember, only 1 entry per week. Marco, it's been another big show once again. I tell you, we're pretty spoilt with the amount of NFL that's happening at the moment. It's great if you love the game, and unfortunately, it's just going to come to a screaming halt once we get to February, and we're going to be waiting till September once again, aren't we?
It's a good Christmas, NFL on most days.
It has been Christmas, and that's a wrap for another show. Thanks to the Third and Long TV, and it would be very remiss of me not to mention it, but have a great Christmas, everyone. As we said, enjoy all the NFL games. Stay safe. Look after yourself. You can follow us on YouTube. Find us in the Apple Store, on Spotify and at SoundCloud, or wherever you listen to your podcast. And remember to follow us at Little Birdie TV and Third and Long TV on Twitter and Instagram. Remember, for all your NFL action can be found at topsport.com.au. And remember, invest wisely, punters. And most importantly, enjoy your Week 16, Marco.
Merry Christmas, NFL punters.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Have a great one.